Welcome to the World War II History Hunter. We do the research, travel, go out and find and share incredible World War II history for you to enjoy and learn from. Today we're going to do another underwater explore. We're going to use the Fifish E-Go Pro. This is a 200-meter version. We have omnidirectional capacity with 6 thrusters. We have a lot of battery capacity. You can swap batteries as you go. You have a very powerful and strong LED set of lights and a very capable camera. The Fifish E-Go can also you can attach different kind of tools like GPS positioning, DVL for precise location if there is a current, all of this, and you have a grabber arm like this, robotic arm, and different kind of tools that you can attach. But this is what we're going to do. But what is the mission? The mission is a rather special story. Everybody who knows World War II knows about the Messerschmitt Bf109, and so did I. When I was a little kid, I used to build models and I used to smash them, hang them up and shoot at them with my BB gun, whatever it took. We had fun with them. But today's mission is about trying to figure out a location that I've been researching and finding, but now it's about time to actually go there. This is basically the scenario that we are left with here, or going to start with. There's a lake, and there's a little small narrow patch of land on this side, just one road passing through, and there's a mountain. And the story is that one of these came in here, boom, crashed into the mountain somewhere. I don't actually know precisely where, but it's very steep, and the rumor has that it hit the mountain, and then somehow it must either have gotten crashed and stuck in the mountainside, or it actually bounced back as a lump of metal crashing into the lake here. So what we are here to do today is to try and use the ROV in the lake. We cannot access this side because that's like a 5 hours walk in the terrain to get to, but we have decided that we're going to try our very best here on a little land sticking out here, and we're going to see if we can get the ROV as far over here as possible and then go down and see what could be there. We don't know anything about the depth or anything. We don't know what the visibility conditions are down there, but what we know is that we are here to give it a go, and you're going to join us. So let's go out and see what this day brought us with the Fifish E-Go. All right, guys, we are at the location. Why white gloves? These are bamboo gloves. Keeps you a little bit warm when I'm handling all the equipment because it's really cold here today, just 2+ Celsius. But carried everything with the wonderful backpacks that they have. QYC are thinking about everything for whatever need you have, and these backpacks can carry all of this gear. So that is something to really think about. They're waterproof and everything, so really helps out. So we got the ROV, the Fifish E-Pro, out here now. We have controller, we have a pad, cables from controller to the tether going to the ROV, and then boom, we are ready to dive. Let me show you what we are up against here. See that very smooth water here? That is such a lucky moment for us. Normally it's very windy here. What the thing is here, but I really don't know exactly what happened or how it took place, but you can see this tall mountain there. We are going to figure out whether there are pieces right here. Why here? Because if the airplane hit that mountain and then boom came down here, there could be pieces kind of rebounding and then boom fall into the lake. So we have enough tether to actually come almost to the other side there. We think it's about 120 meters there, and we have a 200-meter tether. So that is basically what we're going to do. And I'm not sure whether the visibility is good down here, but we're definitely going to try and do our very best, keep out of the silt on the bottom, and in the end, who knows, could there be something here? But as I said, this is a preliminary. This is a just very first test of to see if there's something in the lake. We're going to come back with a little boat, and then we're going to do more. But for now, we're just going to go in this area here and see if there could be anything. I'm going to rig up the ROV and put everything together, and we're going to be ready to dive in just a few minutes. Yeah, the app is on, and look at that. This is to retrieve stuff, or you can also save yourself if you get stuck into something. You can pull the tether away from branches and all of that. And every time I go down into dark waters like we are going to do today, I fear the worst, and that is a tree coming up with a ton of branches like this, and you run the tether underneath and you get stuck, and then boom, this thing is lost. So hopefully that will not happen. But let me see. I got my friend with me here today, a very good friend. We are doing a little tour together. Say hello. Yeah, I'm going to show you something afterwards. It's something amazing we found laying around, but we are discussing what it is, but you're going to have a chance to see the piece, because first we thought we actually found a piece on land here, but then there are some discussions and you're going to take part in that later in the video, so hang with us. All right, let's see if we can get the thing into the lake. By the way, for those of you who don't know what this thing is, I will put a link in the video description. It is an underwater ROV with 6 thrusters, makes it omnidirectional. It can travel in any direction like this or that and here or there. Has a very powerful camera, has really strong LEDs. You saw that tool. You can add on a ton of tools on this thing. We are going to try a GPS system later, so you're going to see in one of our upcoming videos. At here, we're not going to use that, but you can actually do search pattern, grid patterns. You can program it to dive in a special way, all kinds of things. And it's just a fantastic thing. But I'll put a link in the video description here where it says more. You can just click that, go in, and if you want to learn more about it, you can find all the info that you need there. But now we're going to go down into the deep. All right.
Don't worry about me.
No.
Sitting here on a piece of crappy stone, watching your tether.
Yeah.
It's okay.
He's my tether boy.
Told me this was going to be a nice trip, but okay.
he's not volunteering, but he has to. Look, guys, there it is, ready to go in. And as I said, this is one of the most ridiculous things we've ever done, I think, but it's a long shot. Did the aircraft hit that, rebound, and some parts come down? I don't know. It's the piece that we just found from this aircraft. It is definitely an aircraft piece, but we will show you. There's some discussions around that, but it's huge. It's like, what was it, 6-7 meters?
7.5 meters.
7.5 meters piece we found. So why is it here, guys? You're going to see that. But I'm ready. We're going to deploy it, and you're going to see me do some screen recording. You're going to see I'm commenting as we go along, and most likely you're going to see it's total mayhem when we get down there, and everything gets messed up. Everything is black, no views, no visibility, but that's how it is. But this thing can actually do so much more than we can share with you here today. But at least I think this is just the second dive we had with this since we got it. I mean, from the pool. So we and him did a pool session, which was pretty cool. You can see that if you want to. And then we are trying it out here now for the second time. So the water is fully flat. You can see the reflections there. We have fully charged batteries. And one more thing, guys, this is a fantastic little special ROV because it has a feature. Let me show you that. So here, guys, you can see each of these batteries can be detached and put on a new one. So we are going to start with these now. And yeah, that's what my friend actually said now. You can hot swap them. So if this is running now and we say, we're running low on battery, we can just take these batteries out one at a time, take this out, replace it with a fully charged, and then we take out that one, replace it, and you don't have to turn off everything and do all the procedures again. So that is one fantastic feature with the Fifish E-Go or E-Pro as in this version. Why is it E-Pro instead of E-Go? That's because it has 200 meter capacity. And also one little detail that you're going to see here. We are using a reference on the tether. The tether is marked for every meter, and every meter the tether goes out, we can actually read that, and then we know how far away we are from the base right here. And that's going to help us actually to figure out basically where we are, because we can actually plot that on a map. Because we can use a ruler on Google Maps, and we can say, okay, we have 100 meters up, then we can actually figure out with a radius of 100 meters, where are we?
It's 100 meters over to the other side there.
Yeah, something like 100 plus meters, I guess. So, all right, not talking, let's dive. All right, my friend's going to do this, because you can see, just come toward me. So, and upwards with the left stick, so you can have the stanchion upwards. Stay there, and then put the lights on. Right hand side here. There you can see the lights, and then if you put it a little bit higher up so you can see the claw. Up with the claw. Up. No, with that one, this one. Like that. Now we're going to show you. Open, close, open, close. That's it, guys. We are going to go diving. And right here is where I have to add some comments, just because the microphone messed up and I didn't have the sound on the screen recording. So when you hear me talk, I will just edit in whatever I felt I said, and then you can kind of have, yeah, you'll see how it works. Here you can see I started to dive and going down to around 12 meters. Visibility is actually pretty bad, and this is what we often refer to as a black water lake. Reason for that is that there's a lot of sediments that makes the whole bottom kind of being black, and it absorbs, so that it's very difficult to use the light. Even though this ROV has a very powerful LED set of double LEDs, it is very limited of what you can actually see. One, it's not enough light no matter what you do. Two, it's just very, very dark and muddy down there. You can see everywhere. I'm trying to just see, is there any feature that is not a natural feature, like square edges or something. This is just like a rock, but my task is just to see if there are any unnatural elements down here. That is because this is a lake. It's normally a lake, typical lake, which is very clean, without pollution, without crap. And my task is basically just to hover very, very gently around, trying to avoid the bottom, which is difficult because it goes up and down. But you can see here, I'm just trying to kind of figure out where I want to be. Now I put on in the middle, you can see a little thing. It helps me to know the pitch of the ROV. It's like 25, 27 degrees right now and 22 degrees. And it just helps me to know if I'm level or pointing upwards or downwards with the nose of the ROV. You get very quickly confused down here, and you have to use the compass bearing, which is the down on the right hand corner. You can see the compass bearing, and even then you have that, you have to turn around rocks or trees or whatever, and it's very, very difficult to actually know exactly where you are at any given time. But this is, as I said, just a very, very first test dive in this lake, and my task is only to see what the conditions are, try and learn a little bit about the bottom conditions, and could there be features down here. Right now, like this thing here, is that a piece from an aircraft? Is that a rock? I don't know. That's the only thing you can do. You can hover around and try and figure out exactly what is down there. This is a huge rock, and that is basically it. And I continue my search. You've been seeing footage from the screen recording. Now let's switch over to the main camera. That is what is on the main camera, and it has a very special lens, this thing here. I'm going to show you that maybe later, but has a very special lens that could be adjusted so you can have wider and narrower field of view. But you can see again, the whole purpose here is to try and just hover around to see if there are any, you know, things that doesn't look like a natural created thing. And also very difficult to know your bearing. It's also very difficult to keep away from the bottom because it goes up and down and up and down. The ROV has a very nice feature that you can lock it in at the depth, so it has a depth hold, but that doesn't help you if you're going up and down in the terrain. Then the depth hold will hold you at one level, and then when you go forward, if it goes up or down, you have to actually compensate manual by yourself. But the feature is there, and it actually works very, very well, and it's very steady. You can see it's so smooth in the water, but the rest is kind of my my thing. It's like, it's very difficult to do the dives because you're just looking at a tiny small little pad. When you get back, you start to edit, sometimes you actually see much more, and you have a big screen and you can really see the details. But at this dive, I just struggled a lot to keep it level without touching the bottom. But still, I haven't seen any pieces that looks like something from the aircraft, but we are starting to get further out into the lake, and that is where we are hoping if there could be anything that looks like a piece from a aircraft. Here you can see again, I'm coming up towards a rock, and that rock is basically just a rock, but these are the small clues that I'm looking for. That rock could have been maybe a piece from a smashed up engine block laying out there, so it's worth checking out. But as the dives progress here, you can see that I'm bobbing up and down and up and down, and that is because first, the RV is quite new for me. It has a little bit different characteristics than the others we tried, but also the conditions here are really demanding, even though it might not look like it. So now you're going to see an example of how quickly things can get very messy. You can see I'm now trying to go another direction, and suddenly you can see this fog here looks like a massive storm. This is how difficult it is. This is me going back to where I actually came from, and then suddenly you can see that this cloud is everywhere. And if you get kind of totally messed up like this, there's just one solution, and that is go up to the surface, go up, try and figure out exactly where you are compared to where you're going to go. And luckily here we're not more than about 10-12 meters, so it doesn't take too long. But if this was a 70-meter dive, it would take almost several minutes to get up from there. So I'm going to go to the surface again, and then boom, I'm going to get my bearing, and in that way I can actually continue the dive. So now I decided I wanted to try and just do a little brief check on the side where we were standing. This is more like a different scenario, much shallower. You can see just a few meters, and you can see now you can actually see quite a lot with the natural light coming down to the bottom, and don't even actually have to use the LEDs on board to actually see details. You can see when I put the lights on, it actually almost gives me a worse view than when I take the light off. That is a pretty special thing. During the dive, which was quite extensive actually, we didn't see any pieces whatsoever that looked like something from an aircraft. But the whole purpose of this dive was to get to know the area, figure out how to get into that lake, and not only that, how to actually go onto the mountain side if needed. Maybe there is nothing in the lake, we don't know. That is why we are out here. That's what we are trying to do. Just map out the area, and then we'll figure out what to do next. So this time this just wasn't anything there, but it was a very special piece of aviation history that we actually found on our way down here. So we're gonna show you that, but first I'm just gonna tell you a little few details. When you use the ROV like this, there's just two things that is very important to consider. One, keep track of where you're going with the compass on the right hand lower part. If you have one of these, be very specific of what the dive is supposed to be, and don't go away from your dive plan, and keep track of where you are and where your tether is. Number two, don't dive all the way down to you just have 10% or something like that on the battery. You have to have a spare, a little extra battery capacity, because if you are down like in 30-40 meters and you decide you want to go straight up and you only have 10%, you might not reach the surface. And not only that, if you then get stuck down there, you don't have enough power to release or free yourself from whatever obstacle the tether has kind of been entangled in. So just be very, very careful with what you do on your dives and take all the precautions and be smart and don't lose your ROV, because that will be a pure disaster and the rest of the tour or whatever dive you have planned will never happen. That, my friend, is a German WWII S-Mine display, and we create and give them away to our Patreon team members. This is a German Soldatenheim little shadow box. This is a 9mm munition box. Everything here is original. These are artifacts from the Second World War, and we give them away to our Patreon team members. If you want to check out how to become a Patreon team member, there's a link here in the video description where it says more. Just click that, then you click the link for the Patreon, and then you'll see how you can become a Patreon team member, and you will in the end up with something absolutely spectacular, some small artifacts from the Second World War, and we will share history in a very special way together.
All right, it is up. This is why we use the protectors. You see this? All of this. This is what we don't need in there. This is bad for maneuverability and all of that. So this keeps it out. And these things here are actually pretty cool. You can snap them in place. You can just take that off and that one, boop, and these are screwed onto it. Looks like it came through the dive safely, actually. Was it what I hoped for? No. Was it realistic? Yep, it was. And we still haven't got a clue where things could be. But if you don't try, there's no point. So we always try our very best, and then sometimes chances leaves you with something like this scene here. We are doing our very best. Oops, get out of that, from that stuff. What? What? Oh, yeah, are you kidding me? What? I found it. No, 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 no. You cannot actually be kidding me. The freaking aircraft is right in front of me. Yeah, believe me, that was one in a lifetime opportunity to see something really, really rare. And that is what it's all about. You do your very best. You go out with your ROV and you do some research and try, and you start somewhere. And today we started right here. And the E-Pro, it worked smooth, perfect, and I'm really, really happy with it. And it seems like it's more than capable to do whatever we need in the future, and it's going to be very exciting to try it out. But now, guys, let's go and find that little piece and see if you can help us out a little bit with that little mystery we found. All right, guys, there it is. This little thing that we found in the near vicinity of this area. Can you see this thing here? This is like a leading edge. Can you see that here? Definitely a leading edge, something. This is the end of something. And we think it's a flap. And then you can see, how long was it? 7-8 meters? Yeah, and you can see it come down here. And suddenly you have this very, very heavy duty attachment here with what we think could be a brass. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like brass. Yeah, it's a brass fitting there, a brass sort of bushing. And it has these very strange things here. And that is not from World War II. But what in the heck is this thing doing all the way out there? And if you see here, there's this thing here coming out from there. What is that? It looks like some kind of reinforcement. What is that? Several layers of aluminum plate or something? And you can see it's actually damaged here. And in the inside, you suddenly see the honeycomb. See that? So when we turn it like this, you can also see that it has a leading edge from there, and this is the thin edge. And you can see definitely they never had something like this during the Second World War. Can you see that? So let me do this. Oh, so there is something here,
and you have yellow paint on the end. That is most likely something that said don't step there or something like that. But it's huge. So we're going to see if we can see some more details on it. All right, my friends measured, and you said 6.7 meters.
Yeah.
He's got some kind of thing on the telephone that could do it. We are starting to think that this is not a part of a wing.
Look at this. You can see now the measurement.
Oh, cool. Didn't know that could do. It's that app that measures the distance. But we just spotted something, guys. But we want you to leave us a comment. See here, I'm going to take this thing all the way to the end here, and then you can see, boom, yellow, and then you come further in, and then we actually realized that we saw something that we didn't see before. There's actually a name tag, a production tag. But guys, let me know what you think, and give a comment. All right, let's go back to the historical crib, and we'll tell you exactly what it was or is. Well, will this continue? Well, this project has just started, my friends, and we will definitely come back with the Fifish E-Go Pro, and we will definitely do our very best to figure out more. This is just the very, very first start of the Messerschmitt Bf109. And by the way, I'm going to tell you a little bit more what you see here. If you want to help us to reach more locations, you know, you saw that you can become a Patreon team member. It greatly helps us out to travel, go out and find exciting locations. You can also help us with a donation here on the Super Thanks feature here that we have. Yeah, basically a simple way for you to help us to get some fuel into the gas tank of the campervan, and we can go to locations like this, guys. Also, if you want to, we have this PayPal donation thing. You can find it here where it says more. Just click that and boom, you can make a donation. And guess what? Yes, like this little thing here, it's going to be given away to you guys. And check the videos in the beginning of each month, the supported day videos, and you can see who the lucky future keepers will be. Everyone will in the end receive something, I can promise you, because we have given away more than thousands of these, or more than 1,000 of these now, I think. So yeah, been a lot of work doing them, but so nice to see that you will be the future keeper of something special that we share together, and that is World War II history, and we share it together in a very special way, I think. What is going on here? Well, my friends, this Hinkle aircraft is something that we're also going to go to. We are in the process of arranging some boat transport. We're going to hire a boat for a very special project. We're going to see how long that will take because of the funds and all of this. But this is a project, and also we are looking for a Spitfire that nobody has ever seen anything of, and could the Fifish E-Go Pro be the first in the world to find that? I couldn't tell you, but I will definitely do my very best. Thank you, QIC, for letting us have the opportunity to use this incredible potent tool. It's so capable, and so far it's been working totally 100% flawless, and that is actually very impressive, because I've been using a lot of underwater ROVs, and very often there are small issues and bigger issues. This thing here has just performed flawless since the very first dive, and that is pretty impressive. So thank you, QICs, for being so innovative to create something like this, so people can actually go and do underwater explorers as you see we do. Alright guys, enough rambling from me. We will definitely meet you out there later, and there will be more underwater explorers coming up. So just stay put. Keep watching. Watch the videos in full. Help us out with a comment. That helps a lot. And if you want to, you can be notified by subscribing to our videos, all of this, and we'll share more. Alright, stay safe, keep smiling, and before you know it, we will be out there and share history again. Bye bye.